everyone. This is Janice Saylor, and this is my co-host, Simone Shepard. How are you, Simone?
Wonderful, thank you.
Say hello to the folks and tell them hello, how are you, and how sweet they are, and that you love them.
You're all wonderful, and we love you all. And our message today, this morning, we're starting out with kindness. It's not in the hat. We're just pulling it out under our own. We want to bring kindness into this community because we're really concerned with all the stress that current events are causing. And Janice, you had a word to say about this.
Yes, I just think it's so sad to me to see what's happening and how people are fighting in this village. I think you have to join the Latin American community, and I say that from my heart. We spent the day, my husband is English, German, and I'm Jewish and Italian, and then we have this wonderful Latin American side of our family, my granddaughter. And we spent the day there, and there was happiness and love and hugging and kissing, and I mean, Richard and I are the oldest because most of these children don't have grandparents, so of course we're grandma and grandpa. And what a wonderful world it could be if people could stop and think before they talk to each other and start fighting with each other, like what good is it really going to do? Is that correct?
Yes.
It's a waste of energy. It's a waste of everything. I mean, you have to care about each other. You don't have to like them. You don't have to talk to me. You don't have to like me. But I think you should respect people, each other. Me, Simone. We respect each other. We have a mutual admiration society.
Yes.
And we have very little in common as far as life and growing up and livelihoods, and yet we get along just fine.
Yes, we do.
And it's called respect.
It's respect, yes.
So I think people in the village should start thinking about respect. There's so much fighting in the world. Do you really want it here every day where you live? And now I'll shut up and we'll go to the hat. You want to go first?
Okay, what have we got? Snakes. Snakes. Well, we're still on the same subject.
Yes. That's right.
Snakes, as far as snakes are concerned, I'm a bit with like Indiana Jones on this one, okay? I really don't care for snakes.
I wonder why.
Do you care for snakes?
No.
I know a lot of people love them. People keep them as pets.
No, I don't like creepy
The
people.
only real encounter I had with a snake was when we were down in Florida. There was a wildlife place. It was mostly alligators, crocodiles, and there was a show going on, and it was a guy with snakes, and he had this huge yellow python. And he was challenging someone from the audience to come down and let him wrap this thing around them. And nobody was volunteering, so of course, I'm in.
That's you, Simone.
Only because I knew from experience that their insurance company would never allow this if there was any danger going on, okay? I mean, they wouldn't wrap a snake around somebody that thought that they would.
Okay, that's good. You always think good people.
Logic. Yes, I always think, I've been accused of being too trusting.
Yes.
But I did. I went down and had it very heavy. Boy, that thing was enormous. But it was perfectly harmless, and it was kind of sweet when you got close to it. But no, I've seen rattlers, I've seen all kinds of snakes, but I keep my distance.
Weren't you afraid he would wrap himself around your neck or something?
What's that?
Weren't you afraid he would wrap himself around your neck?
No, because I knew. Just
Yeah.
from experience, insurance and being in business, I knew that they would never do this if there was any danger involved.
Oh, that's my Simone, trusting the world. Okay, let's go to the next one. Adventure.
Oh.
Adventure.
Adventure.
Adventure is coming in this village every morning. You never know what you're going to find.
Just waking up in the morning is an adventure.
Well, Richie and I had a lot of adventure in our life. we had a boat. We almost drowned. We always did a lot of things because I trusted him. That's how stupid I am. Okay? But I always trusted him because he had the common sense. And one time we were anchored out, and we were napping, and all of a sudden I heard water coming in. But he jumped up quick and he found what was open and fixed it all up. You know, I really trust him. That's my problem. I trust him to do everything and he doesn't disappoint me, so I keep going on his adventures. We slow down now because we can't go too fast, but we've had a lot of adventures. We've had a motorhome. We've had a lot of problems with that. But one thing I have to share about the boat. We were in Long Island Sound, I guess, and we ran aground.
Ooh.
And I started screaming, "Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh my God!" And I called on the phone to call the Coast Guard, and I was scared. I was like a lunatic. And they came over, and I said, "What are we going to do?" He said, "Lady, you could walk off this boat. When you run aground, there's no water."
That's right. That's
So that's one of our adventures.
Well, yes, and it's funny because you just used the word trust, and going back to the snake, that's what it was. I trusted that there was not going to be any harm come to me. But adventure, my first adventure really was coming to the United States.
Yeah, that was some adventure.
Yes, I came here, I was 20 years old. I came all by myself, just getting on that plane. It was the first time I had left England. And I got on a plane all by myself. I had a job to come to, so I mean, that was assurance in itself. Back then, you couldn't come to America unless you had a job to come to. And you couldn't even get a job unless the people who were employing you actually could prove that they couldn't get someone in America to take that job. They had to advertise, I think, for 3 weeks and get no response before they could employ somebody from another country. So that was my first adventure. My greatest, I think, was I drove across the country from New Jersey to California all by myself.
Oh boy, yes.
That became a real adventure when I was going through the Rockies. Yes, because when you're up at 10,000 feet and your car won't start, you get a little nervous.
A little adventure, yes.
But I had my AAA manual with me.
Oh,
back
good.
in those days, we relied on that. There were no cell phones. There was nobody around at that point, but I had read this before and I got it out, and I didn't even get to the point where I needed the information. It came back to me as I was reading that the gas cap, if you loosen the gas cap, sometimes the elevation will stop the free flow and stop your car from going. And I remembered that, and I unwound the gas cap and the car started. But that was a scary moment, and there were a few of those along the way. So that was probably my greatest adventure.
But you really stayed calm and you knew what to do. I would have started crying.
You would have cried? No, I didn't cry. No, I thought that, the worst thing that could happen was that I had to start walking down the mountain.
Well, walking down is better than walking up.
Yes, at least, yes, there you go. At least I was on the bottom.
Why did you want to come here? I mean, did you think it was so wonderful here?
Come to America?
Yeah.
Oh, that could take up a whole program. That was.
Okay, we should have that next.
Well, yes, make that a special one. We can put a whole load of little tickets in there for that.
Right.
But no, I needed a change. I had been dumped by my fiance and was trying to.
Always a man, isn't that? It's disgusting.
Men have a great influence on a woman's life.
I'm not touching that.
No, that's not on the ticket. That's going.
That's right.
But I was looking for a job. I told you before about, my dancing career was going nowhere. And so I was looking in the paper for a job, and I saw this ad for girls to go to America as mothers' helps and nannies and whatever. And I showed it to my mom, and she said, well, if you really want to go, then we need to talk to your Auntie Mabel, because she worked for the Hunt Regina agency in London, and they actually specialized in sending girls to America. And so we did, and I came.
And here you are.
And here I am.
And we have you, and we're very fortunate to have you.
Oh, thank you.
You're a very different human being. You're kind, you're good. She's clapping for you. We have guests. We have little people running in the front of this, checking us and what we're doing and listening. You can't even make a mistake here. They right away catch you. They put a spy in here for us. No, I'm just joking. Well, I'm glad you're here because.
Thank you. Me too.
I think everyone knows the artwork that you do. Well, we'll give you a plug anyway. Flowers.
Flowers, yes.
And do you want to say something?
Well, I just had a one-woman show. They don't call it that anymore. It's a solo show because now they don't know. You could say woman, but they don't know who you really are.
Oh.
Everything has to be politically correct.
Yes.
So it was a solo show down at the Ocean County Artists Guild, and that just finished at the end of the month. But I do have a couple of pieces in the next show, and it's going very well. Etsy has slowed down lately, and if there's anyone else in the village who's using Etsy, you know that it hasn't been as good as it used to be. But
well, I think nothing is as good as it used to be. But I know.
Well, yes, during the pandemic, everybody was making stuff, and they were home and they were looking for new things to do and new ways to keep themselves busy.
Yes.
And now that the pandemic's over, they're on to other things. Plus, money is short because prices still going up. I cannot believe what I paid at the grocery store yesterday for 5 items.
Yes.
So I understand it. You have to, go without the frivolous things and just stick to what you really need.
Well, sometimes you have to say the hell with it.
So
Okay, let's go to the next question.
Okay, next.
Okay, let's see here. She writes all these questions. Your favorite day of the week?
Oh, okay. Sunday is my favorite day. I think a lot of people will say that. Although I think that people will say Friday, but Sunday is my favorite day because I have worked very hard through my life. And I have even, I've worked a lot on Sundays, even Mother's Day. Mother's Day actually used to be my biggest business day of the year.
Yeah, I think so.
I always did shows. There was a mall up in, Middlesex Mall, where I used to go and do shows. You'd set up in a mall and be there for
right.
4 or 5 days. And Mother's Day was my biggest show. And it's amazing how people last-minute buyers.
Absolutely. That's where you go for
Yes,
last minute.
that's
run
where
to
you
the
go.
mall.
You run to the mall, and there we were set up in there. And yeah, that was great. So I have worked very hard, and because I've been self-employed, I have worked whatever hours I wanted. And they do say that the small business person only has to work half a day, which is true, but you can pick any 12 hours you like.
Well, yeah, I'm sure you do. I mean, you could be taking a nap and someone calls, they want something for tomorrow.
Well,
and
yes, but then you also have a lot of your own expenses. So, whereas if you're just going to work, you don't have to pay for the office space, you don't have to pay, there's a lot of things you don't pay for, but at home you're responsible for everything, even your own health insurance. But now, Sunday, I still work, and I still feel this need to work. But on Sunday, I don't feel that anymore. I feel it's Sunday, it's like, it's Sunday. It's like I give myself, it's like, yes, it's okay, I can do whatever I want to. So Sunday has become my favorite day.
But I just came into my head, nothing about the day, but I know you grow all your own flowers.
Yes.
Now, do you have a problem, or how do you stop the problem of the squirrels and the deer?
Oh, this year has been awful.
Yeah.
I mean, it's always been an issue since I got here, which isn't very long ago. But no, the deer this year just wiped out my garden over Easter. It was as if it had been mowed. All the tulips, there was one tulip left, and it only survived because it was hiding in the daffodils, one yellow tulip hiding in the daffodils, and it survived. But all the other ones, all the red ones and the pink ones and everything, they were all right down to about this high off the ground. I can still see where they were, because these little stubs are sitting there.
Right.
They got my violets, they got, now they're going for the hosta. But yes, it's a real problem. I've started putting a lot of stuff in pots, and I have it on my patio. And if I have to, I will put a gate across the patio to keep if they find it in there and it becomes their snack bar, then then I'll have to find a way to keep them out. But yes, it is an issue.
I just love the way she talks, because when I hear her talk and I'm with her, I feel like I'm near class. I don't know. I mean, she may not be so classy like she says she is. Yes, she is. She really is. But being with you, I feel like I'm with royalty, like for the coronation. Because that accent is just so beautiful. I can't believe you.
You know, they don't talk like this in England anymore.
Oh, how do they speak like that in England? Oh my goodness, they changed the language there.
No, my family, it's fascinating, really, because when I go back to England now, and I'm hoping to go back next month, they all have Southwest accents. You would be amazed at how many accents there are in England. Henry Higgins, do you remember My Fair Lady? And how he talked, you can just go down the street and there's a different accent. And it's true, there are as many accents in that little country as there are in the whole of the United States. And it's just, but it changes where, when you move. My English is not the way it was when I came over. A lot of people don't pick it up until I start, the A sound. I still say, tomato, whereas you say tomato. But in England, they've softened all those T sounds, and it's not the same as it was, and yet I still have that little bit. And I'm kind of caught between countries here, which is not a bad thing, because a lot of people will recognize, it's like, are you from England? And I'll say, yeah. And I said, yeah, I can tell, but you don't have a very strong accent. And I said, well, no, but it's enough that you can tell I'm not originally from around here.
Well, you should say, I'm from Canarsie Street in Brooklyn or something. Are you from England? No, I'm from Vietnam. All right, you go for the next one, kid.
Next one. I don't even remember what the subject. Oh, Sunday. That was Sunday. You didn't tell us your favorite day.
Well, no day is favorite.
You don't have a favorite?
No.
One day is like another?
Yeah, because I don't do much anymore. So, I guess Sunday, if it's nice. Any day that's nice.
Oh,
weather.
Okay. That's a good answer.
Yes.
Scary movies.
Oh.
Do you like scary movies?
Well, it depends.
Oh, on what?
Like if they're sad, scary movies, like killing children.
Oh.
No, I don't like stuff like that.
No.
No, I really like Hallmark Channel, where everybody falls in love at the end. I pretend the whole world is in love and happy,
Yeah.
Do you like them?
No, I don't like scary movies. The first scary movie I went to was, oh goodness, that one with the robot. What was?
The robot?
Yes, Robbie the Robot.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Goodness, what was the name? It'll come to me in a minute. But no, it scared, I was about 10 years old. I went with my brother. He, of course, loved it to pieces, but
Right.
It scared the living daylights out of me. And I haven't been to, I just don't like scary movies. I find that life is scary enough.
Yes, you're so right.
If I go to the movies, I want to be taken out of myself. I want something happy and enlightening or inspiring. I want something that's going to be good for me. And I don't find that scary movies are good for me. I don't see what they do for people. Why do people like to be scared? It's like some of the rides at an amusement park.
Right,
Why?
right.
Why? Why would you do that?
Why would you put yourself through?
Yes. Why would you put your body through that?
I remembered many years ago, I saw the movie San Francisco and the earthquakes and all that, and I was petrified. We went to California, of course, my husband's from California, we went to visit. I was always looking for the ground to shake. I was always nervous when we were up high, but that stayed with me, and that wasn't even scary. That was just, nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Forbidden Planet, that was the movie.
Oh, Forbidden. Well, see, those I don't really mind because they're not real. You can kind of say, well, they're robots or something, where San Francisco is a real thing happening. Like if it's in a cartoon, no, you don't understand what I'm saying.
No, I do, very much so.
Yeah.
Because I would explain it to my children. I remember taking my kids to see The Towering Inferno.
Oh.
And they were still quite small, and I would just make simple comments like, God, isn't it amazing how they can make a suit like that they can set on fire without hurting the person inside? I would...
Yes, well, that was very good.
Just to keep the reality in it, and that this is not really, they're not really hurting these people. Let the kids know that without undermining the excitement of it.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know, some of the kids today are scarier than the movies. We won't even go there because this is happy. Okay. No, I mean, it's really like kids are killing people all over the place, and I don't understand it.
No, none of us do.
I mean, now if you go to in the mall, you're looking around to see if there's anybody running through.
No, it's a scary world.
All right, let's have a favorite old joke. Oh, boy.
Oh, a favorite old joke. Yes, what's your favorite old joke?
I don't know. My favorite, I won't say my husband because he'll get upset with me.
Okay.
I don't really, let's see. I don't know. I don't think I have one because if anything I have.
No joke that you bring up, when everybody's telling jokes, this one that you chip in.
No.
No?
No, we don't like this one.
Oh.
Do you have a favorite joke?
Yes.
Oh, good. Okay. See how much class she has.
Okay, and I can only do it because this is an adult community. I mean, this is, turn off your TV if you're just going to. But no, it's a little Billy joke. Okay, Little Billy is. There were a lot of these going around at one time, and little Billy, his mother is divorced, and she's working 2 jobs, so she comes home really late at night and sometimes sleeps later in the morning. And little Billy, he's about 10 years old, and he's used to getting himself up and dressed and makes his breakfast, and off he goes to school. But before he goes, he always opens the bedroom door and says goodbye to Mom. So one morning he gets up, has his breakfast, he's all dressed and ready to go. Mom hasn't gotten up yet, so she's maybe sleeping, so very quietly he opens the door, and there she is standing in front of the mirror, stark naked, and she's going, I need a man, I need a man. And little Billy is kind of confused with this, has no idea what it's all about, but he knows that maybe he shouldn't interrupt. So he closes the door, and off he goes to school. Well, okay, doesn't think any more about it. The next morning, same thing, gets himself up, he's dressed, he's had his breakfast. He opens the door very slowly. Mommy is standing in front of the mirror. I need a man, I need a man. He's really confused now, okay? This is new, this is unusual, so he's thinking about it during the day. And the next morning, very gingerly opens the door, but Mommy is in bed with a man. Little Billy very carefully closes the door, runs back to his bedroom, tears off all his clothes, stands in front of the mirror and says, I need a bike, I need a bike.
Very good.
Didn't mean to choke you. Okay.
Go ahead.
Honey,
Oh, honey.
Honey.
Honey eating honey or
Honey, any honey.
Oh, well, I like honey. Doing singing and dance, all that stupid stuff I did in my youth. Honey was my sidekick because I had always had it with me so my throat would be good.
Right.
And I still use it in tea if I don't feel good, or sometimes I'll just take a scoop of honey. Honey could be a honey in your life,
Yes.
Well, honey in my life is my one-year-old great-grandson, from Mexico. He's my honey baby. I wish I had brought the picture that we had from yesterday, but he is my honey.
Yeah.
That's my
No,
honey.
I saw your pictures online, and they were adorable.
Did you see the one of him looking at me?
Yes.
Yes, that just made
They're
me
so
cry.
sweet, so
I
sweet.
mean, he's just... All right, we won't go there because everybody's children are beautiful, everybody's grandchildren are beautiful, but mine are just special to me.
Oh, of course they are. Of course they are. But honey is wonderful. Honey, I mean, I lost my honey a few years ago. But he and I, we used to, this was in California, and we used to, one of our favorite trips on a weekend or whenever, we often worked weekends, so Monday and Tuesday would be our free days, and we would go somewhere. And one of our favorites was to go down Route 126 down to Ventura. And along the way, there were lots of things to see, and one of them was a honey farm. And the honeys were amazing. They had so many different flavors. And I had never really thought about how they make, peach blossom or orange blossom honey.
Yeah.
How do they do that? Do they put flavors in it? How do they make it? But that's where I learned that they have these huge nets. And I had seen them for years just on the side of the road. Anytime you're driving around in California, you see these orchards, and they have their own reels like cable. And they're just sitting at the end of the row of trees. But when it's time for the blossom, they can bring that net over the top of the whole row of trees, put the hive underneath, and the bee can only take honey from that orange blossom or whatever it is, whatever that flower is. Otherwise, it's usually called wildflower honey because then it's a mix of everything. But honey is really good for you.
Yes.
It actually has, let me get this right, I don't want to give out false information, antibacterial qualities. It's not an antibiotic, but it's antibacterial. They use it in treating wounds.
They stick it
Yes,
together?
especially burns. It's good on burns.
See how smart she is? She knows everything. That's why she's my friend, because, I don't care what's going on, but she can talk about anything.
See, that's the difference.
That's right.
I have always had that desire to find out about stuff.
No, I don't care.
I remember when we were kids, we had this, it was an encyclopedia. It wasn't Britannica. It was World Book of Knowledge or something, but there must have been at least 12 volumes of it. And when something came up and I wanted to know, I would go running to this book. Now, of course, we go on the internet.
Yeah. Well, I do that. I'm interested in certain things, like breast cancer. I'll see which one is the worst.
Right.
I'll go on and check your heart, which valve, stuff like that. But no, I guess I hide a lot from things. I'd rather just be happy and not know,
Oh, okay, then you're the opposite. Because I am happier when I know. I want to know why something is happening or how it happens. It just, I don't know.
Well, I'm lucky because I have my own encyclopedia because my husband knows everything.
There you go.
And I'll say, who's that? There's someone on running for some office. I said, who's that? Because he pays attention to everything and it stays there. I pay attention to everything and it just goes. So, I mean.
Well, things don't stay as well as they used to.
That's for sure.
Yes.
That's for sure. So we have time for one more. We're getting a call here to get the hell out of here.
It's last question.
Last question. Yes. Fire.
Yes.
Fire. Fire has a new meaning these days. The kids now say something is fire, and they mean it's fabulous, it's great, it's the best. Wow, it's fire, which I understand because it used to be hot. right? Something, something is hot, well, now it's fire.
Well, that's,
Okay.
the kids do make a lot of stuff.
But fire, God, there's lots of things to say about fire.
Well, I think
yeah.
they're giving us a signal here, so I think we'll save fire for
Save
next
fire
time.
for next time.
And,
Goes back in the hat.
Goes back in the hat, and thank you so much,
Boy, this went
everybody.
so quickly.
I know, and we probably went over time because I talk so much, and you know so much. I talk about nothing. You know, I can talk to anybody, anywhere, and I do, you know, but that's because I can talk about nothing. Anyways, thank you all for watching our Out of the Hat and for even learning something from my co-host here, Simone, and get in touch with her if you want something beautiful made out of fresh flowers. So everybody,
Thank you.
From my friend here and co-host and myself, Janice Saylor, we thank you for watching and have a wonderful day.